Hi, welcome back. Well, this is the segment where we get our entire research team to tell us what are the big stocks to watch out for in trade today. Yesterday was a very good day, so hopefully today that trend will continue. But let's start off with you, Anuj. What's on your radar?
Yeah, the biggest of them all, Sonia, L&T, because that was the only stock which had delivery-based buying yesterday. Remember, it's only 200 crores of FI buying. L&T had delivery-based volumes of 350 crores or so. So if this market has to continue to go up, L&T has to continue to lead it. And, there's a good chance that the numbers have re-rated the L&T stock. It's already been re-rated, but it's, raised the potential of further re-rating for L&T, up 30% over 1 month. And the second stock that I'm watching out for is CESC. That's, again, a stock which has seen big accumulation over last many days. In fact, if you pull out one chart of CESC, you will see the kind of gains that you have seen. Again, up 33% over the month. And again, look at the delivery volumes yesterday, very high. In F&O market also, it saw quite a bit of accumulation. So these will be stocks to watch.
All right, so those are the two stocks that Anuj will be watching. Moving on, by the way, there's some alert coming in. Union Minister Gopinath Munde injured in a road accident, so that's an alert coming in over there. But moving on, let's talk about some numbers that came in post-market hours yesterday. Tata Motors will be on our radar. Once again, reporting a weak set of numbers this time around in terms of the domestic sales. So the domestic sales for Tata Motors is down by about 24%, coming in at a little over 37,500 units. That's the total sales for the company. If you look at the exports, those are down by almost about 18%. And if you look at the breakup of the sales this time around, commercial vehicle sales are down almost by about 30%. So there's no recovery there in that space just yet. And LCV sales or light commercial vehicle sales too are down by about 34%. However, it doesn't matter to Tata Motors too much because 90% of its sales comes from the Jaguar Land Rover business. But Lata, the PSU banks will be on your radar today?
Yeah, actually, if you looked at the index-wise rally, it was the PSU bank index which rose by about 4.5% yesterday. The bank Nifty or the bank index of the BSE rose more modestly under 3%. It was the PSU banks which were up and away, and that was largely because of, sourced government statements which our reporter Sapna put out, saying that the government is looking at selling or at least pooling all its holdings in government PSU banks into a company called the Bank Investment Company, and that legislative action to this end are afoot. Now, this fired the market's imagination that the Nayak Committee recommendations, which actually first recommended this, are going to be taken seriously, and the Nayak Committee went on quite drastically that the Bank Nationalization Acts of 69 and 1980 should be cancelled, and the SB Act also should be cancelled, and in place a new act where all the government holdings in public sector banks are put into an investment company, and banks will come under the Companies Act, which will mean there will be independent directors. The board will be professional. 51% of the directors have to be independent. And then it went on to expect that there will be professional public sector management. So the market's imagination ran riot, and that's why you saw this 4%. And in individual public sector banks like Canara Bank, you saw a huge rally. My sense is today a bit of that will come off. If what Anuj warned us is anything to go by, FI money was not, very spectacular yesterday, hardly 200 crores, then this is really a speculative rally. My own sources in the Finance Minister tell me that cancelling the Bank Nationalization Acts and the SBI Act and replacing it with a new act is not a day's job. It is not one session's job. Even if the Parliament were to show any sympathy towards it in the first session, the budget session, that would be a great achievement. They were not very confident that this act is going to, replace the previous three acts so quickly. So my sense is that the market ran ahead of itself in terms of hoping for this sea change in public sector bank management. My sense is today the PSU bank index will take a bit of a breather. You can pick any two stocks, maybe a stock like IOB and Canara Bank stocks that ran away yesterday could be the ones that will spearhead this fall. But I would really watch the PSU bank index.
All right, well, the PSU Bank Index will be on Lata's radar. But moving on to Varinder now, a big beneficiary of the impending hike on FDI and insurance will come through on some of these names like Reliance Cap and Max India. Varinder, take it away.
Well, first of all, this is just a suggestion of the paper what has been floated, but there's no final word which has come on this 49%. The market is working on the hypothesis that if at all this 49% FDI is allowed, which are the companies which could benefit the most? Clearly, if you just see Reliance Capital and Max India, these are the two companies to benefit the most. Reliance Capital market cap of nearly 14,500 crores. Remember earlier in only the life insurance business, they sold 26% stake to Nippon, which was valued around 11,500 crores, which means 80% of the current market cap comes only from the Reliance life insurance business. They have a headroom of nearly 23% to sell in Reliance Life if that 49% is permitted. Reliance General, they don't have any partner, so the entire 49% is still pending there. You know, the thing in Reliance Capital is that the life insurance business constitutes 80% of the value of the market cap, but 80% of the revenues actually come from ex-life insurance business, so it's a bigger chunk of consumer finance and the mutual funds which are still pending and no value which is given to them by the market. So that is one stock to watch out for. Max India, very interesting, 7,500 crores market cap. The life insurance business was 26% stake was sold to Mitsui Sumitomo for 2,731 crores. Means the value of that business alone was 10,500 crores. Also, Max Healthcare, Life Healthcare, which is a big giant overseas market, they bought 26% for nearly 516 crores, valuing the healthcare business at 2,000 crores. So if you add up the life insurance and healthcare, it was only 14,500 crores for both the businesses put together. The market cap of Max India is only 7,500 crores, which means it's trading around 50% discount to what both businesses are sold. Again, there is 23% of headroom which is available in both the businesses, life and the healthcare, if that 14% is allowed. So, the market analysts are clearly betting on Reliance Capital and Max India if at all that 49% is permitted.
In any case, these are stocks that have moved up already about 10 to 11% in trade yesterday. But Nimesh, what's on your radar today?
Hi, Sonia. Well, I'll be looking at for KSK Energy. Actually, the company had launched a QIP book last night for institutional investors. They're looking to raise 400 crores via this QIP issue. The issue is priced at 99 rupees per share. So now, we spoke about this huge pipeline which is lined up in terms of fundraising, both QIP and fresh issuances, and that seems to be now picking up. We saw Yes Bank on Friday. Now there is KSK Energy who's looking to raise money via QIP issue. In this issue, we understand that the company is looking to dilute around 10% of the equity by raising 400 crores via this QIP issue. The book is going to get closed today morning at 9 a.m. But I do believe that there is a very strong demand override from some large investors. So watch out for KSK Energy. They're raising 400 crores via QIP, which is priced at 99 rupees per share.
All right, so KSK Energy Ventures in focus. Rima has Bharti on her radar. Rima, tell us why.
Well, there are reports which suggest that the company is close to selling its African tower assets. The deal is likely to conclude in 7 days. While this rumor has been doing the rounds for the last 1 year or so, the company has been trying to sell stake. But this time around, it could happen because reports suggest that they've shortlisted buyers from 4 tower companies. The names include Helios Tower Africa, IHS American Tower, as well as Eaton Tower. The valuation of the deal, according to reports, stands at $3 billion. It's critical because the debt on Bharti's book is in excess of 60,000 crores, so that's higher than $10 billion. And reports suggest that out of the $3 billion, $2 billion will be used to retire debt. Also, one more word about this deal valuation of $3 billion. It's actually slightly higher than the previous valuation, which was doing the rounds, which was closer to about 1.5 to say, at the most $2 billion. So right now, the valuation which is being spoken about was higher than what was previously being reported, and it's important for the company because it will help in deleveraging of the balance sheet. However, another point to note is that Bharti will have to lease back these towers, so there will be a rental element that they will have to pay, which could impact their margins. But on the whole, if it concludes, it will be positive for the stock. Back to you.
Okay, Bharti was up about 5% yesterday. The other two stocks on our radar today are Ashok, Leyland and Escorts. Both have reported weak numbers this time around. So for Ashok Leyland, the total sales were down 9%, coming in at a little over 6,630 units. The light commercial vehicle sales were down by about 25%. But interestingly, the medium and heavy commercial vehicle sales, although it did see a degrowth, the pace of degrowth has reduced, and it's just a degrowth, or rather a drop of around 1% 2%. So that indicates that perhaps the worst could be over, or rather there is a bottoming out that we are seeing in the commercial vehicle sales numbers. Escorts, this month around, tractors have reported weak sales, and Escorts in any case reported weak earnings as well. The stock has been under pressure. So today you can expect, some downtick over there. Total tractor sales down by 6.5%. But Ushank has Zee Entertainment on his radar. Ushank?
Well, so FII limit has been hiked in the stock to around 100% from previously 49% levels. Now, the company holds the FII holding in the company currently stands at around 48% levels. So they have more headroom of increasing by another 52% going ahead. But also remember, during previous interviews with the company, the management has also quoted that they will be looking down to reduce the stake in the company in case of any kind of FII interest or participation which might be visible going ahead. So maybe the stock might see some amount of reaction taking place on back of those news.
All right, guys, thanks for that. Well, we'll quickly recap our list of top 10 stocks. We have L&T and CESC on Anuj's radar. The Tata Motors, Ashok, Leyland both reported weak domestic sales this time around. Lata is watching out for the CNX PSU Bank Index and names like IOB that may be under pressure. KSK Energy, as Nimesh pointed out, will be in focus. Max India, Reliance Capital on Varinder's radar, and Rima is watching out